everyone, welcome back to our channel. Tristan and I thought we would jump on and make this video today to give you a bit of a life update because a lot has changed for us in the past couple of months, and to answer a Q&A. So we put a poll up on both of our Instagrams and mentioned it in our last YouTube video that we were going to answer some questions that we've been sent in. So we're going to tackle both of those things for you guys today. To start with our life update, we have changed jobs, moved house, and got a different car since our last kind of talking videos with you guys. So the first things first, jobs. We get a lot of questions about jobs, so we thought we'd fill you in on what's happened for us and some things that we've learned since being here. We're coming up on maybe 7 or 8 months now, maybe seven. Yeah, 7 months in Banff. Still love it, but the fact that we've changed jobs has been a huge bonus for that. So as you all know, we were working up at a ski resort. We didn't end up seeing out the full season there. We loved the idea of the work, but we have since taken up jobs in town. So we're both working in restaurants. Tristan's working in 2, I'm working in 1, but we're doing night shift, and it is so much better for a working holiday because we have all day every day pretty much to go out, explore. We still get to go to work, earn some money, and then most of the time we go out afterwards, or we just go home, get some sleep, and then do it again the next day. Working up at the ski resort, we were working the whole time everyone else was skiing and enjoying things. I was personally working like 7:45 a.m. until 4:35 p.m. most days, and that is your whole chunk of daylight, especially in winter when it's super dull and dreary and the sun is setting at like 4:30. That consumed our whole day, our whole week. We got 2 days off a week. It was good in theory. It was great for the free ski pass while it lasted, but we are much happier with our decisions now. So as I mentioned, we're working in restaurant jobs in town, which is awesome. We don't have the commute anymore. So I'm working at one restaurant where I pretty much start at like 4 p.m. all day, most days. I still get my 2 days off a week. It's super flexible. I'm hosting, so I just seat people and work with the servers and help coordinate that. But I love it. I think it's so much better. You know, we have 7 mornings a week to go and do things. If we want to go away, we still can, and we kind of get an extra half a day on top of that. But yeah, it works really well. So Tristan's working at one of those jobs with me. Yep. And he's also working at his another job because Tristan's staying for the summer, whereas I am not. So I'll let him tell you about that one.
So the job that I work with Caitlin, I actually start serving this week. I got that job a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
I got that as my second job. So the other restaurant I work at, I started at before we left the ski hill. I've been there for probably 6 weeks now, maybe
2 months.
Yeah. 6 to 8 weeks. I've just been food running mostly there. I'm hoping to get into bartending there, so I'll be bartending at one job and serving at the other, hopefully.
One other thing too, as you know, we were working in food and beverage at our last jobs at the ski hill, but food and beverage is an awesome job, and we might go into this a little bit more in the Q&A about why and the potential for earning capacity. But yeah, definitely something to consider if you're coming to Canada, especially from Australia where the wages are a little bit higher. We'll explain why soon. On to the next thing, our living situation. Because we left the ski hill, we had to leave our staff accommodation. So we have ended up moving in with 2 of our best friends, Lo and Kira. So as you can see, we're kind of made the lounge room our home, but we're living in a 2-bedroom apartment right in town with them. We are loving it. We'll talk about the cost of living and everything in the next section of the video. But yeah, it's kind of worked out for the better. It was meant to be a temporary solution for us, but we just ended up staying here because we love it and it gives everyone cheaper rent and a little bit more flexibility. But yeah, anything to add on the living sitch? No. You like living with 3 girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then our last thing is our car.
So I think last time we had Big Red, the van. We actually sold that and ended up getting a Volvo SUV just for more seats, able to go on trips with more than just us. That broke down like 2 weeks after we bought it.
Yeah, we were pretty unfortunate. We were sold a bit of a lemon. We loved Big Red, and it was such a sick van. Like, if we were both going to be here in summer, it would have probably been worth holding on to. But at the same time, we can buy a tent, we can do everything, you know, how we used to back at home, camping wise and everything. But yeah, not being able to drive our friends around and go on trips with them was kind of a big deal for us, which is why we decided to swap vehicles. So we're on to our third car in Canada.
So after that happened, we went to a couple used car dealerships, and when we're doing that, I sort of had the idea, I'm like, let's go look at a dealership. And they were giving us options of brand new cars for similar prices as we were getting shown for secondhand. So we're just waiting for our new car to get dropped off.
And yeah, we got a couple of questions about whether it's worth having a vehicle in Canada and things like that, which we'll go into as well. Obviously for us, it definitely is. We've gone through 3 cars in 6 months. We've been very, very unfortunate. But fingers crossed, it's going to be fine from here on out. We'll update you guys when we have that vehicle. But yeah, I think that's kind of everything.
That's life update.
Major. Honestly, it's not been all perfect. It was really stressful trying to figure out where to live and leaving our jobs.
And not having a car at the same time.
Yeah, we had to move house without a car. So it definitely has not been perfect. And that's one reason we really wanted to get on here and make this video for you guys. Because it's all well and good to see all the fun trips we go on or other people's awesome videos. But, you know, it's still life. Even if you're on a working holiday visa, you'll still have things to deal with. But I hope that we can show you guys it's still worth it at the same time. But yeah, we'll move on to the Q&A section. So onto the Q&A section. On each of our YouTube videos, we always put our Instagram links in the description of the video, because we are more than happy to help you guys out and answer your questions. In a couple of our first ever videos on this channel, we explained why we make these videos, and that we just want to help other people out, because when we were coming over here, there wasn't a whole lot of information. So if we can help you guys in the process, that is our aim. Yeah, so onto the questions. We got a couple sent in on Instagram and on YouTube. A lot of them we're going to start with are the finance ones. Moving overseas is obviously a big financial expense, and it's really hard when people don't want to talk about it or aren't willing to, because you have no idea what you're getting into. So we got a lot of questions about the living costs. So everything that we're talking about is only specific to Banff. We haven't lived anywhere else in Canada at this stage, and we can't provide advice on that. And Banff is in Alberta, which has different taxes and prices to other provinces in Canada as well, just to be mindful if you're going to BC or somewhere else. But for us, rent and housing here is super expensive and super hard to find. We're quite lucky that we're in a good position now, and we were prior in our staff accommodation. But what do you have to say about the living situation here?
It's, when you're looking, it's stressful.
Yeah.
I'm currently still trying to find a place for summer, and there's nothing, so...
Yeah, there's more people that want to come to Banff than there is places to sleep. So if you're going to come here, definitely be prepared. A 2-bedroom is about $2,000 a month. That's pretty standard.
Anywhere from like 16 to 2.
I'd probably go 18 to like 22. They're getting more expensive. Yeah. The more people you're sharing with, I know people that like have a 2-bedroom but 4 people in it, which is kind of what we're doing now. And that actually isn't bad for us. So for our specific situation, Tristan and I are paying approximately, it changes a little bit each month, $950
together.
So together. So about
$425.
That's not right.
No, $475. Quick math.
Under $500 each a month, which is still a lot, to be honest, when we're earning $15 an hour. But yeah, so that is our specific situation and a little bit of general about housing here. Our other living costs that we have would be Wi-Fi, which is...
We're paying about $50 a month, I think.
Yeah, approximately 50. It depends what plans you're on. And most places don't come with Wi-Fi included, so you need to get Wi-Fi on top of your rent. We also have our phone bills, and someone sent in a specific question about this. We'll address that one next, but we're paying about $60 a month for our phone bills, which is actually cheap. And then car. Obviously we've made the choice to have a car, so that is an expense for us. Obviously fuel and upkeep as well. Fuel's pretty much the same as home. Honestly, a little bit cheaper than home at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just kind of what comes with having a car. In terms of living expenses, they're the kind of crucial ones that we have to deal with. Just going on to the phone plans. Someone said, hey, heard conflicting things about phone plans. Apparently majorly expensive. Is this true? And
Yes.
this is one of the things that we found out when we came to Canada. We had no idea. Phone plans are so expensive compared to home. So we have 15 gig of data each, and that's like a fair amount. There is a lot of Wi-Fi in Canada,
Yeah.
but we both used all our data this month, and we only got the $60 plan because we came through a company to come to Canada and they got us a better deal. You're probably looking at more like $80 to $100 for a decent phone plan if you're used to having lots of data back at home. But yeah, that's something to be mindful of. One other thing that's also really expensive is car insurance. So if you choose to have a car in Canada, so much more expensive than at home. To put it into context for you guys, we're looking at about $4,000 for comprehensive insurance, whereas at home we were looking, I used to pay $900 a year for that. So huge difference, but registration is way cheaper. So in Alberta we're paying $80 a year for registration compared to $800 at home. So there are a couple of things. If you're going to have a car, you kind of don't have a choice. There's some expenses you're going to have to incur as well. All right, so the next question we got was, can you save much from what you're earning? And this was a huge question of ours before coming over as well.
It's definitely possible to save off what you earn, but I guess a lot of the time you hear you want to be social, you want to do all of that, like,
you want to live your life.
Yeah.
We're fortunate. We've found that we don't really touch our savings from home, other than for big trips. So we have like a trip coming up in America. We know we're not going to be able to fund that with our money from Canada, so we're going to use our savings from home. So those sorts of things, but little trips we've been able to cover with what we're earning, and we haven't had to touch our savings.
A lot of our savings will go to like those smaller trips or the social side of, I guess, living in Banff.
Yeah, so we love to go out, we love to eat, we love to go out for drinks with friends, and for us that's a really important part of being here. So I think if you're really focused on saving, you can definitely cut back and restrict those aspects of your life, and save some money. I know some people that definitely have. Or if you're in a really good job with high tips, it's definitely possible. But it depends what you're coming here to do as well, and what type of experience you want to have. So the biggest thing for us is that we just wanted to come and be able to live off what we earn, and we can do that, which is awesome. So the next question was, rough price of spending now that the snow season is almost over. Does it get cheaper?
Honestly, it doesn't change whether it's winter, summer.
Yeah, we were thinking kind of the same thing. I don't think the season's affected that much. Like the only significant cost for winter would be maybe a ski pass. So we had to purchase like a end of season pass because we left our jobs at the ski hill. So that was a little bit of a cost for us. It was just $500 each for like 2 months worth.
The only thing, it doesn't change cost, but like in summer, town is a lot busier than it is in winter.
Yeah, but I really don't think there's going to be much of a difference between spending between summer and winter. If anything, in summer you can go away for weekends and not have to purchase a hotel room because it's not cold. You can go camping and do all those fun things. But yeah, it depends on how much you want to go out, how much you want to see the town, whether you're doing free activities or priced activities. But yeah, I don't think it's dependent on the seasons. It's dependent on what you make of it. All right, the next question we got was, do you think it's worth buying a car for the time over there?
Yes. Short story, like, unless you're prepared to spend your time purely, like, for us in Banff, and only go places when you're relying on other people, having your own car is definitely worth it, because you can wake up one morning and be like, I'm going here, and go and see all of those things.
Yeah. In summer, it might be a little bit easier for people without a car because there's going to be a lot more people in Banff, and it's nice out. You don't need to drive into town to get groceries. You can just walk. But for us, because we were both used to having our own cars at home, honestly, we have gone through so much shit with our car situation, but for us, it's still worth it because we can do whatever we want, whenever we want. Banff is a bit isolated from other towns. Like, our nearest big town is like 20 minutes away. The city is an hour and a half away down to Calgary. Even trying to get there when we didn't have a car, or trying to move house when we didn't have a car, it was just stressful. So for us, it's definitely worth it. It depends on what type of experience you want to have when you come here, because there are a lot of costs associated with having a car as well. We'd hope to just buy a car, sell it at the end, recoup our costs. Hasn't really worked out that way for us. Might for you. But yeah, there is risk, but I think the reward outweighs it.
Yeah, definitely.
Another question we got was, do you have any tips on getting jobs on a hill during the ski season for IEC workers? Honestly, ski resorts need IEC participants. There are so many ski resorts in the last few years that have been struggling to operate because people have not been able to come over on the IEC visas. So I think you'll be able to get a job wherever you want. Just do your research, see what ski resorts work for you. A lot will be hiring. I think they start hiring about June, putting some applications up. Some are open for summer, so they're doing summer applications now, and then they'll do winter once summer season starts. I think you'll be fine. Honestly, we get a lot of questions about whether we used a company to come over or whether we did it ourselves as well. As you may have seen in our earlier video, we did use a company, but we did it because it was COVID. We had extra requirements on our visa. We were both working crazy hours across multiple jobs at home to save and come here. And we needed a job before we came. You don't need any of that now. So if I could give you some advice and you're confident enough to come over and try and do it all by yourself, I honestly think you can, and save yourself some money on getting someone to give you the checklist on how to submit your visa. You can apply directly for those ski resort jobs. You can get into them yourself. I've even heard stories of people who are being forced into resorts they didn't even want to go to because they have paid these companies. So it just depends. We didn't have a bad experience, but I also think we could have saved ourselves $700 each if we had done it ourselves. Anything to add? No. So the next one was, after your own experience and your friends, is there any jobs you'd recommend? And I love this question. I think it's really good. We've spoken to a couple of our friends about it as well. What would you say? What would your advice be?
Honestly, first off, like, if you've got something that you're interested in, obviously try and find a job in that. Otherwise, for like socializing, the money side of things, and just like the fun of it all, I'd have to say hospitality.
The biggest thing too is, coming from Australia, we're earning a lot less per hour than we were earning before. So we're on between $15 to $16.50 per hour, but because we work in hospitality, we get tips. So the best way to earn tips would be working as a server. We aren't doing that just yet. Tristan will be moving into that soon. Or if you're working in a support role in hospitality, you get tipped out. So you get a portion of the tips that comes to you as well. And that can boost our like hourly wage from like $5, $6, $7, even $8 an hour just from tips as well. So I like that capacity to earn more money. And yeah, as we discussed at the start, a night job has been awesome for us. We came here wanting to snowboard, and ironically working at a ski hill wasn't the best for that. Even though we saved money on a ski pass, we got to ride so much less because we were working all the time. We got some ride breaks here and there, but yeah, it depends what you want to do. If you are here to hike and sightsee and snowboard and do all of that fun stuff, see if you can do something at night. You know, Tristan and I are both qualified at home. Tristan's a carpenter. I'm actually a teacher. I don't know if we've mentioned that on here before. But Tristan loves bartending. So he's, with no experience in that, he's now getting into that job just because he could. You can come here and do whatever you want to if you have enough ambition. So yeah, anything that you think is going to be good, and in a town like this, you're going to find people to get along with. But for us, yeah, working in town as opposed to something out of town has definitely been a huge bonus. The next question we got was from someone who is moving to Canada at the end of the year, which is awesome. Congratulations. They said, where so far do you recommend living?
We've only lived in Banff. From my experience and like talking to people who have lived in other places, I don't think there's a better place than Banff.
Tristan loves Banff. I love Banff too. We did some road tripping through BC when we got here, and we've done a little bit of travel back through BC. I'm torn. I kind of am interested to see what BC has to offer as well. There's some really cool towns, but I feel like we might end up back here. I don't know. Banff is a really, really cool place, and if you're looking for somewhere to start that's guaranteed you know you're going to make friends, it is an awesome town. There's a nightlife. There is a huge like hiking, outdoor culture as well.
Banff's definitely the place. Just be prepared, you may not want to leave.
So the next question we got was, how long do you plan on working in Canada for? Do you have any work/travel plans for other countries? I love this question. So we're going to do our full 2-year visa. Definitely. We are already 7 months through, which is crazy. I am actually leaving Canada for summer though. So Tristan's staying in Banff. I am going to the States to work in a summer camp over there for a couple of months, which I'm really excited about. But then I'm going to come back to Canada. We might do a little bit more travel before winter kicks off again next year. But yeah, time is flying. Like 6 months of winter we thought would be so long, and we still have so much left we didn't get to. So yeah, we want to travel heaps. At the end of our visa,
who knows?
Yeah. We've talked about going to South America and doing some backpacking around there, even going to Europe and doing some backpacking. I don't know. We're going with the flow. There's so much we want to see before we pick a place to settle forever. Yeah, anything to add? No? No. Depends if I can get Tristan out of Banff or not. Right, we've got one more question that we got on our last YouTube video. It said, do you guys get holiday pay? Also, do you make much money with the pay rate, or does most of it go to rent/living expenses? So in terms of holiday pay, we got paid holiday pay at our last jobs. But what they did is they, instead of accruing it, they just paid it out to us every paycheck. We haven't got that many pays in our new jobs. I'm pretty sure we do, but honestly, it's not something we're relying on. Yeah, not 100% sure exactly. And then in terms of, do you make much money with the pay rate, or does most of it go to rent, living expenses? We did go through all that at the start of the video as well. So hopefully we've addressed that well enough for you. We're getting by. I think it's possible for everyone to get by. I'm not even working full-time hours anymore.
We're, we're having fun, paying what we need to, and not touching our savings. So
we're loving it. Yeah. So we hope this video has been helpful for you guys. We love Canada. We love it in Banff. And we know how stressful it can be planning to come over when you don't know all these little things. So if there's anything we can answer for you guys, please feel free to comment or send us a DM on Instagram, and we're happy to answer those questions. Otherwise, good luck. We hope you guys make it over soon, and yeah, enjoy summer.
Thank you. Goodbye.